Thank you for giving us some of your time. I know you're quite busy.
Awesome, thank you.
I know you, like I said, I know you're a very busy man. It's fight week. Just got a couple of questions for you. So welcome to IOL Sport and Mzansi MMA.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. Good to see you again.
All good. Likewise, man. Likewise. Cairo, last time we spoke, you told me of these amazing commercial deals and broadcast deals, the free-to-air TV business you were doing. And obviously, it's fantastic and exciting for EFC brands and obviously advertising to come on board. I know that COVID must have thrown a spanner in the works. Can you just tell me, obviously, now with things slowly picking up again, where's the EFC at in terms of those branding? And obviously, I know of all these the channels across Africa. Just tell us, the fans, more about that, please. Update on that.
Cool. Yeah. So the update has been, yes, we haven't been producing live shows during COVID, obviously, but we have still been distributing our package content, and we continue to sign new broadcast deals across Africa. So we've expanded our reach even further than before, which is fantastic. And with this COVID situation, there's been a lot less live sport on television. So, the TV networks in general have been more hungry for live sport. So with us starting up again now, we're in a really good position to maximize all of the hard work we've been doing over the last couple of years and to get the benefit out of all those deals that we've put in place. So starting with our live schedule again this weekend and then going back to normal with events once a month is really awesome. And also there has been a big uptick just in general in mixed martial arts interest. The UFC has done a fantastic job over this last year, where most other sports stopped operating. The UFC continued delivering live product, which is fantastic. So there's a bigger audience and bigger demand for mixed martial arts content now than there's ever been before. And we're really excited to be in a good position to be able to make the most of that situation.
Yeah, I must also share a personal story with you. In this time, during the lockdown, with mixed martial arts being one of the only sports being obviously on TV, and I know the Korean Soccer League came in after that, and then some of the European teams. Even my aunties, 70-year-old ladies are starting to watch EFC, which is actually fantastic for the brand. Aside from supporting me with what I do, but just to see them get behind the EFC brand, and the other aunties go, slalom, slatom, so it was. But it's beautiful because it's one thing to build a culture, speaking to MMA fans, but the key is to get MMA to become a culture and to speak to people outside the sport. And I think that's what you guys are doing well. And so I think it's actually fantastic. So just well done on that. Also, you continue the.
It has this, with all the sports stopped globally, but MMA continued on TV. Our content was playing, almost 6-7 hours every single day on SuperSport, which exactly like you say, the people who used to watch soccer only or rugby only or cricket or whatever, that wasn't on. So their channel surfed a little bit, looked around for something else, and then they were finding mixed martial arts. So we actually picked up a whole bunch of new, much bigger audience, widened the net, which is great. And now we're in the position to come to them with live content as well, which is fantastic.
Yeah, correct. And then just tell us regarding UFC Africa, I don't know if you saw the story that wrote, and obviously went viral on when Dana White made his speech that they're looking at coming next year. I know you guys also have vented your frustration on people looking past Africa. You guys were sort of the pioneers of bringing MMA to Africa, and well done on that also. But now suddenly everybody's taking a note of Africa because the UFC is suddenly now there. But you guys been taking it back for how many years now? Is that of any concern to you as the EFC brand, or do you still feel the UFC will come once a year, maybe once if they start getting it going, and you guys will still have the home base in Africa? This is still going to be your playground.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, UFC coming to Africa would be the best thing for our business. We've been begging them to come here for the last 12 years. It's like, I use this example, when the Soccer World Cup came to South Africa. Before that, I had never watched a South African soccer game before. I had no interest in it. I didn't have a Bafana t-shirt, or I'd never actually been to a soccer stadium in South Africa before. It wasn't a sport that I followed. Then the Soccer World Cup came in 2010. There I was in the Bafana shirt. I've got a vuvuzela. I'm going to the stadium. I'm watching it. I'm interested. And then afterwards, I now follow soccer a lot more closely. I'm interested in what Bafana are doing. I have an interest in it now because I've got a much higher, much bigger connection and a touch point with it. And the same will happen with the UFC. Yes, we've done a fantastic job of building MMA in Africa and promoting EFC and our athletes, but when UFC does come here, it'll be like the Soccer World Cup coming here. It'll be bigger. It'll be awesome. Everyone will go crazy for it. All the media will get involved. The media that don't normally cover MMA will suddenly all be all over MMA. All the brands, the big brands that might not normally do MMA today will be all clamoring all over it. All the TV networks, everyone, all the fans, it'll just widen that net. And then the next day, UFC will go back to wherever they go back to, and we'll be here with a beautiful MMA product to satisfy all these fans and the corporates and the media. So for our business, it'll be amazing, and just for the sport as a whole, it'll be amazing. So we're super excited, and hopefully they do get it right.
So basically, you'll pick up what the UFC ship leaves in its wake as they leave. I mean, you'll just make people say we were here all the time, but now it's obviously now you can get on board finally, also because you see now.
Yeah, it's great. You know, the UFC's got a beautiful product. They've got an amazing product. It's anyone promoting MMA and the sport in such a good way is only good for our business. We're not competing with them. There's more than enough space. If you look at football, look at the PSL in South Africa is a massive business, and that's just the South African Football League. The top players can go and play in the European League. There's no issue. There's space for both. You know, it's the same way that, you know, Africa Cup of Nations is a massive soccer tournament, and they generate a lot of money, and they're perfectly fine. You don't need to, even though the best players from there will go and play in the big European leagues with more money than them. That's perfect. We're never going to have the money that UFC's got, but we don't need to. You know, where there's a space for a local African league.
Don't speak so soon. I'm sure once the MMA picks up, EFC could easily catapult the UFC. We hope so. We hope so. And then just tell us also regarding the fans for EFC 85. Can you just give us an update? I know Guy told me this morning I was a bit disappointed because he confirmed that media apparently can come to the event. It's a bit last minute for us. They've been in Cape Town. But just for fans and everybody, what's the official status? Will you have a handful of fans inside the Performance Institute? Or is it only officials, media, and cornermen and cornerwomen?
So at the moment, it's purely up to the government COVID regulations that we're following. You know, obviously we would love to have fans there, but it's not a possibility today as per the government regulations today. So there won't be any supporters in the building. The only people that will be there are competing athletes and their team, anyone who needs to be there for the show. Obviously the crew, medical, and then journalists are part of essential services effectively. So media are allowed to be there as well to cover the event. But it's the same as all the other, like the PSL or any of the other big sporting events taking place in South Africa today. Those are the regulations that we are following. Hopefully, and there's talk of supporters being allowed soon, from June onwards. You know, there's the Lions rugby tours coming here, and there's a lot of movement with government apparently. Obviously, we don't know what the final outcome will be, but there is hope that the COVID situation does allow for that, and hopefully soon we will be allowed to have fans and supporters inside the actual arena itself. So maybe from EFC 86, but for EFC 85 this weekend, all the supporters, the opportunity will be to watch it live on television.
And that will be Super Sport only? In South Africa, exactly what?
So in South Africa, yes, it will be Super Sport only. The rest of Africa, obviously on our different TV networks,
okay, cool.
And we'll put all of that out there.
And then just looking at, yep.
So sorry, one note on that, it is also 2 hours earlier. So normally our live broadcast is from, I say normally pre-COVID, we're doing a live broadcast from 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock at night, but just because of the curfew at midnight at the moment, 11 o'clock is too late for us to be finishing an event and pack up and everything. So we'll pull it 2 hours earlier. So it runs from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. live on Super Sport.
Okay, cool. So you can still get that 8 hours sleep in. Okay, so and I know Joburg was once upon a time the home of EFC events, and then I know Cape Town also, a lot of people started enjoying the Cape Town events, and in Pretoria put up this amazing production. I think it was the Jacob Zulu event with that beautiful production. I mean, you guys are always known for your fantastic productions also, but that big screens were just something else. Well, are you looking at Pretoria being the Times Square being the official comeback when you have fans, or is that something you can't divulge or speak about yet?
Yeah, I mean, we don't know. We're going to have to play that as we come along. How long that's going to take, we don't know. they say fans, how many fans? So we're just going to have to see. For the moment, we're just going to be hosting the shows at our Performance Institute and in a closed studio environment. It's not going to be, not going to be in arenas yet. And as soon as we can and we have that opportunity, we'll put that together. But obviously, there's such fantastic venues, like you say, Times Square, like you say, Grand West, Carnival City, or Sun City. So there's so many awesome options. And I think fans are going to be, once this COVID has passed and the opportunities available, I think a lot of people are going to be keen to see some live sport again and to get to the arenas. So the demand will be there. So it'll be an exciting time when we can do that. But for the moment, we're just focusing on what we do have control over, which is the now, and what we can do, which is now. So we're just producing the best product that we can, which is effectively a television product for the moment.
For sure. And then just tell us, getting into the business side of things, for all who want to get a clear understanding, just tell us about this 20% equity being open to fans, fighters, and why you decided to introduce the initiative. And is this just for the layman out there, is it an initial price offering or direct listing? And just give us some insight into that for the fans who are interested in actually getting on board also.
Awesome. So effectively, we are listing 20% of the EFC business. So that is being made available to supporters, to the athletes, and to investors to actually invest into the business and become shareholders in the business. So we see a big upside with having the athletes as owners. So up until now, it's been a privately held company. We're going to make 20% available. So the athletes competing on Saturday night are competing partly for cash and partly for actual shares in the business. Which is fantastic. So someone like Faiz is going to be a shareholder in EFC. And then we all have the same vested interest, which is to grow mixed martial arts in Africa, grow the EFC brand. The bigger and better the business does and gets and grows, the more value the equity stake becomes for the athletes and the better return that they get. So we see a lot of positive with having one, the athletes as owners in our business, and two, having supporters as well. You've got so many people who want to see these athletes do well, who want them to have an opportunity to get to the likes of the UFC one day and to be even competing at EFC. You've seen in this last year, without having EFC taking place, it's been really hard and it's been really tough on the athletes and it's been tough on the fans and the sport as a whole. The sport in Africa hasn't progressed in the last year. Nothing's happened. So, in order to make this work, we need cash. Running a show like we run is expensive.
Sure.
And we believe the best opportunity for us is to have a broader investor base coming in. So someone like yourself can go, hey, I'll put 1,000 Rand into this, or 10,000 Rand, or 5,000 Rand, or whatever that number is, and go, one, you're investing in a business which is a 12-year-old business and brand. It's proven, tried and tested. It's not it's not some new upstart. We've got a really good positioning in the marketplace. You're talking earlier about how African MMA is shining now. This is really Africa's time to shine, and we're in the best position to take advantage of that and to really grow with it. So one, you're investing in a good business, which your share value, we believe is going to be worth a lot. But two, you're also investing in the athletes and supporting the sport. You're going, hey, by you putting money into EFC, you're getting EFC running and paying for it to operate, and you're paying the athletes and you're giving these athletes an opportunity to compete and to fulfill their dreams. So it's a combination of straight investor person that we see coming into this, and a combination of straight supporter, and kind of a mixture of the both, mixture of the two of them that we foresee coming through.
Cool. And then, like I said, I don't want to make it as simple as possible for those that, you get business savvy fans, you get those who are not necessarily very much into the business side, but they still have a passion for MMA and they might have money they want to get on board. Where can they find this exact listing? Is it in the JSE, or where exactly will this listing be based? And just give us more insight into that, please.
So we haven't gone the JSE route for a number of different reasons, but in today's digital world, you don't need to do a listing on a big stock exchange like the JSE. There's new technology which has made it much more affordable and available to our kind of MMA fans. Which an MMA fan is typically younger, a bit more tech savvy. You download apps all the time. That's how you're used to operating. So there's an app called Stack Assets, STACK, Stack Assets. They are the company that we've partnered with to do this direct listing. So the 20% equity will be traded on the Stack Assets platform. So a supporter can go on there, download the Stack Assets app, register, open an account, and then you can trade, you can purchase and buy and sell your EFC equity on there. So we've made it as simple as possible for people like you and me who are, used to operating on apps and trading that way. And then, that's how it works from a basic overview point of view. But it's the same as owning a share on the JSE or on any listed exchange. It's exactly the same thing. You have a direct ownership in the business.
Okay, cool. And then just tell us in terms of financial prospectus, will that be issued to investors, or can you elaborate in terms of disclosure on annual statements?
Yeah, all of that information will be there. So on Stack Assets, all of that information will be available. So if someone wants to get more information, they can go in there, click on it, see the forecasted financials, see where we are today, see what we're projecting to do. You look at the total global MMA business. You got the UFC, they just listed now last week. They're holding Endeavor just listed at I think it was a $10 billion valuation, and that's basically UFC's valuation. You've got ONE FC in Asia, which is they're raising money at a $1 billion valuation. You've got PFL, which is a new one in the States, just 3 years old. They've raised $300 million at hundreds of $1 million valuations. And they go,
you guys basically have a better platform than them, even like in terms of stability.
What's EFC work? We've been around for much longer. We're not competing with the UFC in those markets. Those guys are competing head on with the UFC. We're not. We've got Africa to ourselves. This is the young audience in Africa. MMA is, generally for a younger audience. The population growth rate in Africa shows that this is where you want to be from that point of view, from mobile consumption, which is what Africa is known for, just from an athlete point of view, all those things. And we look at it, and we're having investors coming in at a $7 million valuation.
Okay.
I'm like, I believe it's very low, but we're making it attractive. We want it to work. We want people to come in, and we also want people and the athletes to benefit. We want the share price to go up a lot, and we want the athletes to go, geez, I fought at EFC 85. I got paid 50 grand's worth of equity in the business, and suddenly it's worth 100 grand, 200 grand, whatever that number is, and we want them to go, this is the best thing that they've ever done, and all of us benefit on the upside with it. So we believe that we're in the best place to be. If I personally, we put a lot of our money into this business, so we obviously believe in it, and that's why we're doing it. But if you just kind of look at pure financial point of view, the potential upside that we've got in Africa and the sports businesses, and just what the PSL earn and the soccer earns and the African leagues earn, EFC's really got a massive opportunity to create a very valuable business and make a lot of money for all the shareholders.
Yeah, I could recall 2018 event. I think it was according to Nielsen Sports. They also calculated in terms of the numbers watching EFC, in terms of watching Super Rugby, which is like bread and butter in South Africa. The numbers, EFC or MMA actually overpowered those numbers. And for me, it's a scary, but in a good sense, a scary thought. I mean, in terms of what and how, in terms of Africa's growth, also in terms of world population, also the future of the sport. I mean, rugby and soccer has sort of peaked in a certain sense, but I mean, the sport of martial arts is still so much room for growth for the sport of mixed martial arts itself, which plays well into the hands of the EFC and the sport of MMA.
Exactly, and certainly anywhere, Africa is where you want to be for now. Where's the next 10 years? Where's MMA going to fly? It's going to fly. It's going to fly in Africa, and we're perfectly positioned for that. So yeah, we're really excited about the prospects. We're excited about this offering with Stack. We see so much opportunity. We see so much benefit with it. We see such awesome, such a good thing for the athletes as well. A lot of them will hold these shares and hopefully, make a lot of money out of them in the future. And as more money for them, not just from fighting, but it gets them into investing as well. They can sell their shares in EFC and trade on the platform for other equity as well. So yeah, we see a lot of upside with this, and we're really excited about it.
Okay, cool. And just tell us in terms of control decision making going forward with investors, how will they be involved, and have the fighters, have they warmed up to the idea, those business savvy, those who are not business savvy at all? What's the climate been like for you and the feedback?
It's been amazing. So every athlete you see competing on this fight card and the next one and the next one, they've all they're all excited about it. They're all in on the opportunity. They all said that they're happy to compete for equity. And so it's been fantastic. We literally had every single athlete bar one saying this is the greatest thing. They're very happy. Let's get it done. Let's get EFC going again. It's also this is what needs to be done. We either all sit around for another year and wait until for COVID, or we be proactive about it and we do something about it. And that's what we're doing, and we're all coming together, the athletes, the community, everyone's putting their hand up and saying, let's get this going again. We want to compete. We need EFC. We want the sport to grow. And this is how we're going to do it.
Okay, and then just also tell me something. So you guys, the brothers, will still be running the show basically in terms of decision making, strategic thinking, all those things are still going to be it's your Silas, yourself, and Cal, eh?
And we still have 80% equity in the business, so it's not as if we're selling and walking away and not being involved. Quite the opposite, actually. We see this as this is going to boost the value of our other shareholding, of our equity. So we see this. We started off at a lower valuation, but we believe in a couple of years' time this is going to be a billion-rand business. That's our goal, is to build this into a billion-rand business, and we can all make a lot of money out of it in the future. But for now, this is what we need to do to get there. We need capital to get going again. We need the athletes to be in on it. We need the athletes, to support this and to be part of it. They were the first ones that we consulted about this. We came up with this idea. We said it only works with the athletes' involvement, and it only works with them wanting to do it. So we spoke to all of them, and they all said, let's get it done. So I think to answer your question, we're very involved, exactly the same as before, if not more so.
And then just to clarify also with that whole hybrid issue, in terms of litigation matters, debt, anything like that, just to put any fans at ease. So there's no issues involving with hybrid. That issue, because they were supposed to get back to me regarding the update. I have not heard anything, but we'll leave that at that. So just confirm and put the fans at ease regarding that situation. Concerning debt, if they put their money in, all those kind of factors that come into people's, obviously the natural investors' head regarding the EFC and in terms of investment.
No, so there is, as far as Highbury specifically is concerned, there's nothing there. They like I said to you before, they are as money. EFC doesn't owe them a cent. Highbury actually owes EFC a couple $100,000. And like I said to you before, that was just a publicity bunch of rubbish. They never went to court. We never heard from, they sent us some rubbish letter and we replied to it, and that was the end of that. So those clowns have nothing to, nothing to do with those clowns. EFC does have accounts with suppliers, and EFC does owe money to suppliers, and that's what part of this is for. We need to, we either get operating again and we can generate revenue and we can pay suppliers, and the working capital coming in from this share raise is also going towards paying suppliers and getting it going. So that's what this is all about. EFC does take money to operate. The kind of show that we put on, Julian, we could do our show a lot cheaper and change our product, but we don't want to do that. We believe now is the time to put on the best show we can, really go out to the world with the best product that we can, but that takes money, it takes investment. So that's what this is going towards. It's going towards paying the athletes, getting the best athletes on the card, putting the best production together, and delivering a world-class product to all these TV stations and fans around the world, and really showcase what we can do.
Yeah, I think on that note, as you say, it's nice that you're being honest about and transparent about that, the fact that you want to pay suppliers and there have been people who complain about outstanding funds. I've even covered that before. But the fact is that people still love the brand and what you guys produce, and you have a certain stand that you set with the shows. No one can compete to compare the EFC brand production to anywhere else in Africa. We haven't seen it's unparalleled. So it's nice that you're actually being honest about that. You're saying that you want to sort those things out so that you can continue moving forward and take the brand to a much higher level, because obviously you've built a great foundation. So on that note, Cairo, I told you I'm not going to keep you much longer, but you want to say something?
Julie, if we don't start operating, then no one's going to get paid. No athletes are going to have an opportunity to earn money. They've all lost their sponsors in the last year because nothing's been going on. No one earns any money when there's nothing going on. And even the outstanding money that EFC does owe to past suppliers, we can't pay them if we're not operating and doing anything. If there's no money coming in, there's no money, So we want to get everyone paid. We want the athletes to earn lots of money. We want the sponsors to come back for all the athletes and to grow the sport. The best way to do that is to start doing events again, put the best product forward, and the best way to do that is what we're doing now. So it's really looking at the MMA community and the athletes and going, guys, let's all get together. We all want the same thing. We want the sport to grow. We want these athletes to have the best opportunity and the best platform to showcase their skills. We want the sponsorship to come in there. All of that requires the same thing, which is an awesome product and an awesome platform for them to compete at. So let's do that. Let's put it together and make it happen.
For sure. Cairo, thank you so much for your time. All the best with EFC 85. I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a cracking event, and I'm just excited. I know there are millions of fans, even people just we interact with. They're very excited to have the EFC back. So all the best with the week ahead, and thank you so much for your time, man.
No, thank you, Julian. Good to connect, and we'll see you again soon.
Always. Cheers, Cairo, man.